The families requested for their family reunion applications to be substantively decided before enrolling biometric data due to the situation in Gaza. The visa application center in the besieged strip is closed and the nearest functioning center is in Cairo, Egypt. However, the requests were refused by the Home Office in both cases on similar grounds, including that the family's circumstances were not materially different to other people in Gaza or compelling as to make them exceptional. The Islington Law Center and the Migrants Law Project at Asylum Aid brought legal challenges against the Home Office regarding the individual cases and the Home Office's policy on biometric deferral. The families received an oral decision in the upper tribunal in early March, due to the urgent nature of the claims, and the judgment was handed down last week. Cecilia Corrale, a solicitor at the Islington Law Center, said, "This is an important judgment with wider consequences which recognizes that the Home Office has adopted policies in breach of Article 8 ECHR, which it is applying to multiple families seeking to be reunited." A spokesperson for the Gaza Families Reunited campaign, which is calling for the creation of a Ukraine-style visa scheme for Palestinians trapped in Gaza, said it was relieved for the families. They added, "The Home Office must now urgently rectify its policy and approach to ensure that family members of Palestinians in the UK who are eligible for reunification under existing routes are actually able to exercise their rights." A Home Office spokesperson said, "We have received the outcome of the judicial review proceedings and are considering the impact. It would be inappropriate to comment further." This article was amended on April 8, 2024 to correct the date that the Immigration Tribunal judgment was handed down, and to add the information that Judge Gleeson was party to it as well as Judge Jackson. Ukraine will lose the war if the United States Congress does not approve military aid to help it resist Russia's invasion, President Volodymyr Zelensky said. "It's important to specifically address the Congress. If the Congress doesn't help Ukraine, Ukraine will lose the war," Zelensky said Sunday during a video meeting of the Ukrainian fundraising group United 24. "If Ukraine loses this war, other countries will be attacked. This is a fact," he said. Zelensky's warning, among his starkest since the war began more than 2 years ago, comes as Congress has for months refused to pass a package of aid for Ukraine, leaving Kyiv to battle manpower and ammunition shortages, while an emboldened Russia pounds Ukraine's cities with missiles and tests for weak spots along the front line. The U.S. Senate passed a $95.3 billion foreign aid bill with assistance for Ukraine and Israel in February, but House Speaker Mike Johnson has so far refused to hold a vote on passing the package for Ukraine. When Russia launched its invasion in February 2022, it thought it would take Kyiv in days and the rest of the country in weeks. In what proved to be a disastrous miscalculation for Moscow, Ukraine repelled the initial assault on its capital and, later in 2022, reclaimed some of the territories overrun by Russia. The front lines have since been largely static, with Russia continuing to occupy around a fifth of Ukraine's territory. Despite optimism that Ukraine could reclaim more of its occupied territories, its counteroffensive in the summer of 2023 failed to significantly pierce Russia's defenses. Ukraine's then commander-in-chief conceded the war had entered a stalemate. Since the start of this year, Russia, enjoying a huge advantage in manpower and technology, has attempted to seize the initiative, bombarding Ukraine's cities with missiles and forcing Ukraine to retreat from the eastern town of Avdiivka. Franz Stefan Gatti, an associate fellow at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, told CNN the war in Ukraine had entered a transitional phase. Russia is conducting probing attacks along the front line. It is trying to advance where it can. And it is preparing what seems to be a future offensive down the road, he said. While European countries have tried to replace U.S. aid, Gatti said there was no substitute for the support Washington can provide. This year, Ukraine really needs U.S. support. There's certain weapon systems, certain logistical support which the European countries simply cannot provide to Ukraine, such as air defense systems, he said. Also on Sunday, Zelensky warned that in the coming weeks Russia will be more and more insistent on dragging nuclear weapons into the debate, threatening, playing with this matter. In a separate post on X, he thanked United 24's ambassadors for continuing to draw U.S. attention to the Ukrainian people's fight for freedom and independence.